Hi, I'm Blake,
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Noah.
and this
And
is
this is
OnlyBands.
OnlyBands.
trying to read your lips. I'm like,
That was
oh my
great. We
hey, a
like
C
had
plus.
C plus, yeah. So, hi y'all, welcome back to OnlyBands. We have a very special guest on here. He's a good friend of mine, and he is also an incredibly talented musician. His name is Noah. Noah, do you want to introduce yourself and your band and your blah 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 blah?
Sure. Hi. So I'm Noah. I am 24. I live in Southern California, like San Diego. My band is Small Talk. We are emo rock, gluten-free vibes. And yeah, we're currently recording for our first full-length record. We got 2 EPs out, and I absolutely love it so much.
Welcome, Noah. We're happy to have you. Noah is the vocalist, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the brains.
Yes.
Sorry, man.
Not to say Vic or Ian are not smart.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
So, you said you're recording album, right? How many songs
Definitely.
is gonna be on it?
So, first off, we're demoing right now, and those demos we have around 10 to 15. But I mean, the list just keeps on growing, and basically what our plan is that once we finish the demos, we're gonna look at the songs and say, I think these should make it on the album, these we should save it or work on them more. So right now it's 10 to 15. When the album does come out, which will be this year, it is going to have at least a minimum of 10, and I'd say a maximum of 13, because you never want to put so much right away. But yeah, it's crazy, like the recording process. We're actually going to be starting again tomorrow, so I'm pumped.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
exciting. So, Small Talk is based out of San Diego, and you just announced something incredible yesterday. Do you want to tell our listeners about that? It's a huge step, actually, in the right direction.
Yeah. Basically, our music, we have 2 EPs out. We got physical copies. We have a I don't know why I was going to say maroon. That doesn't even make sense. We have a CD and a cassette of those records, but we actually have them now for sale physically in store at this record store called M Theory Music, which is shocking because we actually played our EP release show at that record store. And that was literally a month before everything shut down. So I'm really blessed and thankful we were able to do that.
Wow.
But it's just really special to us. And it was really cool because last night somebody posted a picture and tagged us that doesn't even have any mutual connections with us, being like, I just picked this up at M Theory. And I'm just like, that's so crazy. And just knowing the fact that people can go buy it in person, that's shocking. Like, I don't know. I almost want to put a hat on and be like, I'm here for all the Small Talk stuff. But they already know who I am. So it's like, I couldn't even do that. But it's really exciting. And I can't wait for more of that and all that. So hopefully soon too with the new stuff.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, who is Small Talk outside of music? Like, if music wasn't a thing, which would be terribly horrible, but imagine, like, there's no connection to music. Who are you guys individually as people?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard to even think about. And I know that we're kind of living that way right now without shows, and it's definitely weird for everybody. But I would honestly say it, and it's funny because we've actually talked about this before too. If it wasn't for music, we'd literally just be working like minimum wage jobs, probably just living at home, and really having no sort of drive. I mean, I'm sure if we were forced to be without music, that we'd eventually find something. I would hope that we would be like, oh, let's try to pursue this, but truly like music is like the full focus. But I guess for me myself, if it wasn't for music, I'd be working a minimum wage job, and I would probably be putting my full focus into like mutual aid work, which is something I am really passionate about, and I would just make that my full focus. But man, I'd probably be delivering pizzas for sure if it wasn't for that.
Nice. Nice. So music, you could say, is a huge part of who y'all are as people, then.
I mean, even Ian, our drummer, he has a recording studio for other bands as well. He music engineers, so that's literally his job too. So I mean, it would be really, really bad if that didn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank golly it does.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah. Hydrate!
Yes. Oh my gosh, with this weather coming up too, the heat is just like so bad. But oh my gosh, I'm really thankful to be like back in the studio and everything. So I took a little bit of a break from my recovery and everything, and it feels so good to be back. Oh my gosh.
And by the way, congrats on that surgery. That is absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much.
I was really happy to hear it that week. That was so fast.
Yeah.
Like, Noah, excuse my language, listeners, but what the fuck?
It was crazy.
That
I
was
mean,
less than 3 days. 3
Yeah.
days.
I'm honestly, and I want to say, like, I'm really thankful for everybody and just coming together, like mutual aid and stuff. And, that's a big reason why, I wanted to start like my own mutual aid to help other people get stuff, because I was so moved by the way that everyone came together for me. And I was like, I know that we can do that for other people too. And it's just, man, like, I know the world sucks, but there is really a lot of kindness too. So it's just a balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wild.
I guess that's an example of karma. Give what you get out.
I really hope so.
Think so.
Yeah, I think
So
it's
I
really
wanna
important
say-
to like surround yourself with kind people because the world can be so harsh.
I agree.
Oh my gosh, definitely. And I mean, I think like before the, because I basically, whoever's listening, if they don't know, my friends pushed me to start a GoFundMe for my top surgery, and it was raised in like 3 days. And before that, I didn't see much kindness from the medical field aspect. So surrounding myself with people, even just strangers online who are kind, it's just wow. I mean, it truly changes your life, honestly.
Oh yeah, it really makes a difference.
Yeah. With that being said, I know that small talk has a huge mental focus, in general. Do you want to talk about that and how it applies to your music?
Definitely, and I think with the band, lyrically, we always want to talk about, things and themes and subjects, all that sort of stuff that is hard to talk about. I think for myself, being a trans guy who is in a extremely, cis white guy dominated field, it becomes a little bit intimidating to make myself vulnerable, and not seem so strong or whatever. But I think that there's strongness in the vulnerability aspect. And with this band too, like we had said, and it was funny because, well, not funny, it was pretty sad. When our EP came out, we had all these show plans out, and then COVID hit, you know what I mean? So we didn't really get to play shows off of the EP, but we really wanted to make it an effort to, like, at shows have, at our merch table, little, each night would be something different, whether it be mental health or like resources for anything. We wanted to have that be a thing at our merch tables, but again, COVID, unfortunately, took those plans away. But I think with mental health in this band, like, that's something we'll never stop talking about, because that's something we all struggle with. And I think that the more we talk about it, not even just with bands, but even people feel less ashamed to talk about it or to seek out like resources and stuff, for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I spent a lot of my life being very secretive about my mental health, because a lot of the people that I grew up around, they felt like that it was a moral failing if you had mental health issues. So I kept it to myself for many, many years. And that was one of the loneliest times of my life, like, honestly. And I really do believe it takes a lot more strength to let your walls down than to, like, wall yourself off from people.
Yeah.
No, definitely. And thank you for opening up about that too, because it's like, especially, I don't know, like even like our parents or that older generation have this stigma of mental health being associated with you're completely unstable and you're irrational.
Yes.
But I think like our generation is kind of changing that narrative and really opening new doors for mental health, and even it's a cliche, but it's like, it's okay to not be okay, because it truly is. And there's always somebody there that's going to be there for you, even if it's one person.
Yeah, when I'm making graphics, like with affirmations on them, a lot of times those are inspired by things that I need to hear or that I feel like that people around me, like my friends and loved ones, need to hear.
No, definitely, definitely.
And I think that's so important too, because something actually interesting that my therapist brought up to me a couple days ago, and actually during our session today. Thanks, therapy.
Oh, yes.
um, I was. He asked me what I would say to someone who was struggling in my shoes, and a lot of it was gender related. And I gave this whole paragraph and a half of support, just rambling on about how it's okay to not be okay. Give yourself some compassion. You matter. Don't let people make you feel bad about their perception of you, because even though you present female, at least you know that you're a guy and that's how I'ma see you, kind of thing. A lot of affirmative. And he said to me, he looked me dead in the eye through Zoom, and he said, "Why doesn't that apply to you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, actually, I wrote it down because it was so mind blowing. I think Caitlin, you might have seen this because it's in the home.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's that post that I'm gonna bring up.
Yeah.
Oh, god dang, golly. Tries to find post, fails miserably.
Well, Blake, I wanted to tell you too, with what you just said, that is so true, because we're our own worst critics. We can, like you just said, it's okay for people to do this, yes, do that, but then when it's me, it's I don't know if that's okay, and that's just our minds, unfortunately.
That's true. I do that so much. There's so many things that I'll say to other people, and they'll turn around and be like, "Well, that's true for you too," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is." In my head, I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
And this was his response when I said, "What do you mean? It just doesn't." Because it can apply to someone, but apply to yourself? He said, "Well, if you're saying all that and it doesn't apply to you, what if two things must be true, but not both? Because both is not possible. Either you're lying to that person, or it applies to you and you just haven't accepted it."
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't apply to you, you must be lying to them, because that kind of support can't just apply to one person and not the next.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That's 100% true. And what I want to say to you too is I completely understand where you're from. And you mentioned, being feminine presenting and you still know you're a guy. Yeah. Even me, after having top surgery, I wear makeup, I, dress non-traditional, whatever they want to call it. And that doesn't take away from me being a guy. So nothing that we wear or do. And I know that people are so ignorant and think a certain way, but we're not going to walk around looking around like every typical H&M model. No, we're going to be ourselves,
Yeah. We will be who we want to be, and that is all that matters at the end of the day.
Oh, definitely. And I just wanted to touch on this really quick too. These tattoos I have on my arms, it says "Be kind." It's not a reminder for me to be kind to other people, because I'm very courteous of other people, but it's a reminder for myself to be kind to myself, because just like Caitlin said too, it's we give people this advice, and then when we have to follow it ourselves, we're like, "Oh, that's not for me," but it is. It's just, we have to get in that mindset.
Yeah, I fully agree. Now you have a couple tattoos. And you're showing two of them, and I think they're absolutely incredible the way that they're designed. Do you want to quickly touch on them?
Sure. Yeah. I love getting tattooed. I just love the feeling. I actually have 4 tattoos coming up next month and in early June. But I also have a lot of my legs tattooed.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry. But
no, we love to see it.
Your body is a canvas. Decorate it how you want.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos, but I want some. I'm just terrified of commitment.
Once you get that first one going, it kind of becomes easy from there. But basically, they're all, honestly, some of them are even just an artist's work that I've seen on the wall, and I'm like, I really like this.
So
and
cool.
Aww.
Yeah, and just being I don't know, I do trust people to an extent. I mean, obviously, you don't want to do that to everybody who's like, yeah, I can do this in my garage or something. Maybe not.
Yeah, I trust you, but I need a sterile environment. I don't want a staph infection.
Yeah, no, thank you. But I mean, my goal is to be definitely covered by the time I'm 30, which is in about 6 years. Oh my gosh. God, gotta hurry. But I just think it's a cool expression. And, especially after everything with my surgery, my chest was kind of preventing me from, being able to express myself more. Like I would never wear a shirt like this if it wasn't for, that. And just being able to have that. And also like, with tattoos and piercings, I know that helps a lot of people's self-confidence and it makes them feel better. And I think whatever makes you feel better and more empowered, please go ahead and do it,
Yeah, like that's been a struggle for me, like with like I know like I'm cis, but like being a disabled person, and because like female gender conformity is a lot of like manipulating things and putting things on, and a lot of times I just don't have the energy for it. And so sometimes to me that makes me feel like less feminine, like less of a woman, and that's really frustrating to me. So like it makes me so happy to see people just like being like, you know what, screw gender norms, I'll do what I want. I love that. That makes me happy.
No, definitely. And those struggles are extremely valid. And thank you for sharing that, and I know that like society places this thing on like, okay, like women should look like this and men should look like this. And if you don't look like that, you're less of a guy or less of a woman. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like I really love to see that though, because I'm like, yes, it's like I can do what I want now.
Exactly.
I do what I have energy for.
It's interesting. It almost gives you permission to be yourself in a very indirect way. It's like if they can do it, I now have permission to do it for myself and be myself as an authentic being.
Yes.
Definitely. And just like we see other people, like let's say online or whatever, and we're like, wow, that person is really, dressing however they want and they're comfortable with themselves. Like we appreciate that, just like other people will appreciate you doing the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%.
So going back to your music, what is the one you've written a couple songs, released a bunch of songs in the past like couple years that you've been around. What would you say is the song you're most proud of?
Oh my gosh. I definitely want to say that our latest single, Hawthorne, for sure, is the song that I am the most proud of. One of the main reasons, too, is because that song, we actually had to record during COVID, like when COVID was really extreme. I remember we had started recording it in like April, May, and that's when it was like the fear was pretty extreme,
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of the work that we did because it's funny because only one person was allowed at the studio at a time. So, Vic went to do the guitar first, the drums went in, then me at the end by myself. And I'm really proud of the way that the song came out with us doing it so safely in individual spaces. And, that was the first song we had done a music video for as well. And I do love the music video and everything, but it was, before my surgery. So I'm desperately looking forward to doing a music video again and feeling more comfortable with myself. But that song, it really meant a lot that we did that during COVID and we're able to create it. So at a safe time, and also like just the way that we did it by ourselves, because usually we're all together, we're all giving feedback, and the way that it came out, us being individual, like we had FaceTime and stuff, but as you can tell, it's like you maybe not here as well, and it's different, so
yeah,
definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
thanks.
It's a great song. I've listened to it many times, as you know, and it's great. Fun fact about me and Noah: whenever we are listening to each other's songs, we send each other screenshots, or have it playing while we sing along to it. It's
literally,
yeah. So. It is a great song. I can personally testify that I've listened to not only the video but the actual song itself, and yes.
Thank you so much. And again, like I'm really looking forward to these new songs, and oh man, I really can't wait to get started. I'm just almost like desperate for it to move faster. Like
yeah,
it's a huge euphoria when something you worked on finally gets released to the public. Now, with that, if you could pick one song that you feel you could have made 1,000 times better had you put more something into it, what song would that be and why?
It'd actually be our whole first EP. And the reason I want to go in depth with that was because I love the first EP with all my heart. but that was the absolute first time that any of us had ever, even Ian, who is now our drummer, he originally, we met him because he was you know, a recording engineer. He recorded the EP. It was his first time ever recording anything. It was everybody else's first time, as in like myself, Vic, and our previous drummer Elliot, recording any sort of music. So everything was very new to us. We didn't even know what like a click track was, nothing. So obviously we were we were very, very nervous, and that definitely, especially in myself, reflected the nerves. And it's funny because those songs, I'm like, I'm already ready to do a reissue, like like a 5-year reissue. Like, but I like the meaning. I mean, like, I'm really thankful. Like, we didn't even do like guitar leads or background vocals or anything like that because we were so nervous and we're just so focused on let's just get the song down that, you know, we didn't get to add those special things to it. And again, like, I love our first EP so much, but that's why I'm so ready for this next one to come out, because now we've spent time adding guitar leads and really focusing on the song itself. And we're more confident in ourselves as musicians, people, and even Ian, just a recording engineer. And it's just, the growth has been crazy, but everything you do is going to be growing. I mean, probably in 10 years I'll be like, oh my god, that's the second album we put out, I definitely want to grow up that. You know, it's all about growth, and you know, nothing that we ever put out is bad or without like our full heart into it. But I was just very nervous on that EP, and I definitely want to show more confidence and security in the next stuff, which will definitely be shown for sure.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I saw a post on Twitter where somebody was saying that, you know, that your first XYZ, like any media, you know, like music, your first song, your first painting, your first book, like it's all gonna suck, but you have to do that first one in order to get better.
Yeah,
that's a struggle for me with my paint, with my digital art. I'm just like, you mean like I have to draw people poorly before I can draw them good? Like
yeah, it's like, let me draw a family member, let me record this song for my family. No, like, definitely.
No, I just want to be good immediately.
It's all growth, you know, and even Blake, you know, you're recording new songs, you know, and it's just like, you already know, like, it just is constantly growing, constantly changing, and that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, 100%. Now I have a very, very important question for you, Noah. Very important. It's actually not that important, but it's a question that I ask every episode. You can have dinner with 5 other people outside your band, dead or alive, famous or not, anyone in the world who's ever existed. Who are those 5 people?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first time we're going to be going with Jack Black. I just literally love Jack Black. School of Rock is one of my favorite movies. That movie itself, I can't even explain to you like the realm of it, and it's just so cool. The way that the promoter booked a packed show on a Wednesday at noon. Where is he at for small talk shows? So definitely be doing Jack Black. I would definitely be doing Gerard Way. He's just been a huge inspiration in my life, and I absolutely love to death. Oh my gosh, the third one. Oh my god,
wallpaper.
Yeah, oh yeah, my mic and flag back there. But definitely, oh my gosh, this is so tough. I would definitely be doing Gerard Way. I would be doing Baby Havoc from AFI. Okay. Absolutely adore. Incredible, like vegan straight edge. Love it. I'd be doing Sam from Stick to Your Guns, mainly because I love Stick to Your Guns, but the work that he does outside of Stick to Your Guns is a lot of mutual aid work in Los Angeles. And I just, he's so busy all the time. He's got like all these other bands and projects, but then like focus on Stick to Your Guns and does mutual aid. Like it is so crazy. And then the last one's going to be a little bit problematic, but I would definitely be meeting with our president right now and being like, we need to get more shit done. Like what's going on?
Oh, you would use that.
I don't feel like that's problematic to like call him on it and be like, hey, where are these campaign promises?
Yeah. And I'm just, you know, and before you got here, Blake and I had mentioned, you know, the trial that just went on and everything like that. And, you know, Biden is supposed to be making a statement on that. So I'm very curious to see what will happen. But that's who I would meet, because also all those people have the same morals as me, Black Lives Matter, everything like that. And it would be a really hearty feast. I just can't wait for that now.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I think that would be actually a very interesting conversation at that dinner.
It
What
would
would we be
be.
talking about? I'd just be happy to be there.
I could already picture it, like, the four of you having a great time, or the five of you having a great time, and then walks in President Biden with his Secret Service. They're
There's
like,
total silence.
And we're like, hey, the Secret Service wasn't part of the 5. Seriously.
Nice.
You're kind of killing the mood here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go.
You can't sit here. You gotta go over there. Sorry, not invited. Bye.
Oh my
Just
god.
scream like Gretchen and be like, you can't sit with us.
Man, that would be iconic. Iconic.
Yes. Also, Noah, what is your favorite form of potatoes?
That is
I'm
really
obsessed
hard.
with potatoes. Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with potatoes, and I have to ask this.
Honestly, tater tots or mashed. Oh my god. But then like fry. See, it's so hard because they're all good. I never had
Yeah.
a form of potatoes that was like, nah, whatever. Like it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But tater tots
Yeah.
hit different. Or like hash brown. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
Those
god.
are so good. Have you ever
Yeah.
had potato pancakes?
What? I've never had that before.
They're really good.
Okay, for those listening via audio, my mouth is literally dropping.
Wait, is it kind of like savory or is it sweet?
It's savory.
It's savory. It's literally like you take potatoes, you shred them through like a cheese grater, you put some egg and some flour and some spicy spice, and then you fry it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to try that. I don't even know like if where I could buy that like in person, if where they make it
It's
anywhere.
so easy. Do you have potatoes?
Yes.
Do you have eggs?
Yes.
Do you have a little flour?
I actually have it all to make it, so I should definitely try it tonight, actually.
Yes. All you do, you literally take a cheese grater, you shred, and then you put, for every 2 potatoes, why am I putting 4 fingers up?
Every 2 potatoes.
For 2 potatoes, you put in 1 egg, okay? And you mix it a little bit. You just want to get it kind of combined. You don't want to mix it a lot. You don't want to get the starchies. And then, well, first, after you shred, you drain out all of the starch, like all the water from the potatoes, through like a rag or something. And then you put the eggs. Then you put a little flour. Then you put a little salt, paprika. That's what I do. And then you just put it in a shit ton of oil for like 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
Boom.
I'm gonna watch a YouTube video as I do this as a tutorial hand by hand. All right.
Do it. I am introducing you to the magic of all magic.
Yeah, YouTube is a lifesaver.
Yes.
Oh my god. The amount of like videos they have for literally anything you need is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so helpful.
Yeah. It is. I've learned so many things about art programs I couldn't figure out from YouTube videos. I was like, how do I do this? And it's like, here's a video. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
No, definitely. And it's like, even like TikTok, for example, even though I know TikTok, I don't know why, I feel like it's so mean. Like the app, I don't know what the hell it is. But anyways,
I could actually explain that.
I know you post, like, that's why I deleted all my stuff. I'm like, you guys are scary, but like, I like watching videos to like inform myself, because people on TikTok do know a lot of hacks. But I know, Blake, you already know from firsthand experience, like people are just, oh gosh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just post like voiceover videos of me reading poetry. Like, that's it.
That's really cool though.
Thank you. I'm like, I don't want to open myself up to people being mean to me on this app by sharing my opinions about things.
I don't even know why it's just that app though that specifically is so mean in comparison to like Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, you get trolls, but like
that actually. So literally what TikTok has been doing, which is why it's such a problematic app, is they've been targeting LGBT Black, Asian, any people of color, and they're taking their videos down for like the most stupid reasons that don't apply. But they're
Yeah, for like
keeping one.
guidelines
Oh
that
yeah,
aren't
I
even
Yeah,
saw
for
true.
saw
guidelines.
that.
They're also keeping transphobic, homophobic, racist, blah 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 up, but they're taking our stuff, calling it out down.
Yeah,
It's
I've
so
seen
weird.
that.
So
There's several people I follow that
Yeah.
like they've made videos explaining why something is transphobic, why it's homophobic, like
yeah,
why it's racist, etc. And TikTok will take down their video, but they won't take down the person who was saying those things.
yeah, yeah.
Makes no sense.
It
Mhm.
doesn't, and so that is why we are all, or most of the people that I follow are all trying to go off TikTok for a whole month starting May 1st.
May 1st. Okay, that's good to know. Because it's
Yeah.
funny. I was actually thinking about maybe opening up myself again, but I'll wait till June 1st.
We're all going off social media for a whole month starting May 1st. Yeah.
Wow, that's important, and I want to say too, with kind of, this is a little bit off topic, but just bringing up like some problematic stuff. And I know you shared it too, Blake, I believe. But it's like that band, Tramp Stamps.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
I have
I
so
just
many
want to say,
things.
like,
I have so much to say about that, but I can't. My mouth mostly shut.
it's just with going forward when shows do come back. Whenever we play shows with people, a lot of times we would get told that our lineups were super weird because we'd
Yeah.
have like an acoustic set and then a metalcore set and then pop punk and then emo. But I will only play with bands who have the same moral beliefs that I do, because my beliefs morally are not what's the word? Are not radical. It's just don't be sexist, don't be
Yeah.
homophobic.
Yeah.
But apparently that's so radical and crazy. And when I think about like a band like Tramp Stamps having that platform to, do some good and then they do shit like that, I definitely would never play with a band like that. And I just want to say that I'm glad that people called them out for it, because, sometimes people get away with things, and especially when it's, three white people, it becomes a little bit of a weird space. And I'm just really thankful that people did call them out on that. And I just hope that more people can grow from this and more bands with platforms can really use it for good and not just for their own personal benefit.
Yeah, I was amazed because apparently Tumblr bullied them off the website in about 5 hours. I was like, excuse me.
See,
the
thing that I had with that was like, they were such a good band up until they got called out and didn't take that well. Like, they had two ways to go about that, and they could have either taken accountability, said we will do better, and like acknowledged that even though it's in the past, it was still hurtful to people, because you don't get to run away from the consequences of your actions. But the way that they presented it, being like, it's in the past, get over it, they don't believe that now, so why does it matter? And still making music that is very problematic in many ways.
Oh
yeah. Oh my gosh, yep.
I thought that was like the complete opposite. They could have at least taken it down. But I think what we all have to learn from that is that there are people who are willing to do good and make a difference in a positive way and call out problematic behaviors and make sure that there's accountability in some way there. And that there are people who don't like that accountability, don't like being called out, don't like change, don't like progress, enjoy being stuck in their current mindset. And we just have to learn to separate the two and listen to the people who want change.
Exactly, who want growth and who want to say, you know what, I made mistakes and I can get better and I will do better. And even us in our personal lives, we always know that we're going to make mistakes, and we have to learn how to, accept that, own it, and take responsibility and not shift blame onto other people. You know what I mean? And I'm just thankful that, we're in an age of time too, where that's becoming more of a thing for us to take accountability, although a lot of people don't. It's still like, we're kind of starting that ball rolling of like, it's okay to make mistakes, but we have to learn how to address it and move forward.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. And real quick, going back to when you mentioned, being radical. I don't think wanting everyone who has a full-time job to make a solid living. I don't think asking the world to have everyone have like a home and shelter and food and water is so radical. But
No.
like I also don't want to associate with the people who push against that idea.
Oh yeah.
And
No,
that
seriously.
has been a quick Mission Music Socialism rant. That's all we have in the episode.
I'm gonna add one more thing onto that. I did see a funny TikTok about that where somebody said, "Tell me your political alignment in one statement or less." And this guy said, "I think people should be nice to each other." And the video that was it.
Oh my god. Everybody should have a home and eat every day. How
Yeah.
is that crazy? How?
Yeah.
Why? No.
Like
So-
being poor is not a moral failing, and poor people don't deserve to suffer.
No.
Exactly.
And that is not a result of anything but extreme circumstances that are extremely hard to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like the system is rigged against impoverished people, and
Yeah.
like there's a lot of crossover. It's not just like, you know, there's a lot of like disabled people, people of color that are also impoverished in dealing with this, and so there's like also the intersection of like ableism and racism going on too.
Definitely.
Definitely. And real quick, Noah, describe your music in 5 words or less.
Fast, emotional, raw, emo, and gluten-free.
What is
I guess the best
gluten-free
one.
music? What's that mean?
I think it's what it means is by that, in all joking aside, accessible to everyone. We want to make
Yeah.
sure that the music can be reached to anyone of any age group, anybody of any sexual identity, orientation, everything, you know, and we definitely will continue to do that as best as we can, because even not just myself, I'm in a band with 2 other guys who, one of them is Mexican, one of them is Asian. So we are, you know, wanting to open up those doors for sure. I think Blake
You
dropped his
good?
headset.
I have a slight bit of a cold, but it's okay. I'm here.
That's okay. My allergies have been acting up today, and I was like sitting here like, don't sneeze, don't sneeze.
Yeah, or please don't be COVID. Oh my gosh.
I've only been 2 places since this all started because I'm disabled and I don't like work a 9 to 5. So like I've only been 2 places this whole year, and only after a year did I go to 2 places. I was in one for 30 seconds and the other I was just in like renewing my medical marijuana stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
It's tough, you know, like going places, you're kind of like, even going like the store, you're like, I need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
Like it feels like it's been programmed in your brain at this point, like it's not safe outside.
no, seriously.
Like it's gonna suck when it is safe outside again, because it's gonna be hard for everybody to get back to that. I feel like a lot of people are like teetering on the edge of agoraphobia now, like no joke.
It's going to be like a transitional process for everybody. It's not just like, okay, let's hop back in, you know?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I know, like, for example, even Blake with you, it's like, oh, like, Sad Summerfest is happening. Let me go full in. Like,
Yeah, I do feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the anybody who's able to jump back in immediately probably wasn't quarantining and didn't like wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Like I have
Definitely.
asthma and I have chronic pains, my immune system, and I have allergies. My immune system isn't amazing, and I live with people who are also immune compromised, including my brother has kidney failure, so he's very immune compromised. So like, we've been
definitely.
extremely careful.
Yeah.
It's just been
Man.
crazy. Like it'll be nice to be able to breathe again, but like I
Oh
feel
my
like there's
God.
always gonna be like that little niggling fear in the back of my mind, like what if this happens again?
Yeah.
Oh, no, definitely. And I mean, we wear masks too when we're in the studio. So that's even like, I don't even, like, when I do vocals, I take it off and everyone has to turn around with their masks on. Like, it is hard. It's a very weird space. And
It's weird.
we're about to be fully vaccinated, all of us. Ian's getting his dose tomorrow, actually. And still, it's kind of like, I can't see myself. I don't know. It's going to be a weird transition for sure.
Like
No,
I'm fully
agree.
vaccinated and I'm still anxious about it because they're like, you can still get it, and there's other variants you might be able to get.
Yeah.
Like it just
Like,
won't put you in
thanks.
the hospital. It won't put you in the hospital, but you can still catch it. And I'm like, I still don't want to catch it. Like,
Yeah.
like a chest cold about has me going to urgent care. Like,
I know. Oh my god. Oh my god. So speaking about that, you're not gonna believe this, but you totally are. So yesterday, I started coming down with this cold, and I was like, oh my fucking god, what is happening?
yeah.
I freaked out because I was having a cold.
Like, oh Lord, it got me.
And I was like, oh my god. So I raced to urgent care, and I literally raced my ass to urgent care, but I stayed inside the rest of the day, and I was like, get me tested now. Not in a very aggressive way, but I was like, I need to know if I have COVID, because I am not letting myself get COVID. And it's scary,
Yeah.
too, because I work in the restaurant industry, because I need
Yeah.
some income, and I'm exposed to like so many people a day, and it's just so dangerous indoor dining. And
Yeah.
but I have to like seat people indoors, and that is the only time I go outside. Literally, the only time I go outside is for work.
Yeah, it
And-
makes
Yeah.
me mad to see people like putting up
Yeah.
such a fight about masks. I'm like, there's
I
so
know.
many retail workers that they have no choice. They have to be there. And you're
Yeah.
like putting them in
Yeah.
danger because you're selfish and you're too lazy to wear a mask.
And at this point, it's kind
Straight
of
up.
ridiculous because at this point, it's literally ridiculous because this has been going on. It's been a trend for a year.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how are you
Yeah.
bringing a mask with you.
When
Like,
people put their mask down below their nose,
oh god.
I about lose it. I'm just like,
Yeah.
the whole
Just take
time
it
I'm
off
just
then,
holding
bud.
it in.
Yeah. Real quick, we're running out of time. So, real quick, I need to know, Noah, if you were to describe your music, to someone who has never heard your music before, how would you describe it?
I would honestly say that our music sounds like early nostalgic 2000s emo. So if you liked anything like Taking Back Sunday, early Taking Back Sunday, early My Chem, early Paramore even, I would say that that's
Yes.
very similar to
Yeah.
the sound that we're going for and that we truly love. So if you don't know what that sounds like, watch any early 2000s movies where they use a lot of like rock songs.
Those were good. They had such good music.
God, I
And
missed
that
that
was
time.
peak.
Me too.
That was the peak music. Like,
It
was.
was peak movie music.
yes.
Straight up. But that's what I would tell them, and to check it out, and that it's, you know, on Spotify, Bandcamp for free, wherever you want to listen to it. It doesn't matter to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, nice. And also, if you were to pick a book that, like an actual written book that might describe y'all's personalities with each other, what book would you just say?
Honestly, this is gonna sound really bad, but I would definitely pick Twilight because because we're so emo and serious. Like the way that Bella acts reminds me of how Vic acts sometimes. Ian reminds me of Jacob. I remind myself of Edward. And I think that as the books go on, it kind of describes our relationship a little bit. And Vic is always trying to go with me or Ian and just kind of, you know, being that Bella middle squad. So Vic is listening to this. Sorry, but and also Twilight, God, a tier movie for sure. I don't care what anybody says.
I still can't. The music was amazing. Like if you say nothing else, the music was immaculate on all of it. It was
Decode?
incredible.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I don't know how to respond right now.
I'll never get over the hold on tight spider monkey. I was just like, what?
Say that again.
I was like, did I hear that right?
I
Yeah, I
So
would
crazy.
have had marijuana then. Otherwise, I would have been like, did I like get too high and hallucinate that?
You have to watch it again, double take.
literally
Like,
though.
can we rewind this movie for like 2 seconds, like in the theater, asking, did that really happen?
Love
I
it
feel
so
like
much.
the first Twilight was incredible, and then it just went all downhill.
The last one was so weird, but you
Yeah.
know, it just holds a special place in my heart. That was an era of time where we were all obsessed, and I'm so for it.
Oh, okay then.
Let me get a Twilight shirt.
Noah!
The movies were so pretty, but I could not get over the dialogue. It just
No, seriously. 100%.
my favorite is like the behind the scenes, like Rob Pattinson's commentary about things.
Yeah, and I'm like, are you okay?
Like, does he need a hug?
God.
Now, Noah, you have a ton of band merch just kind of everywhere in your room, very clearly, with that Lost Dakota, My Chemical Romance, Overboard, everything. You're wearing a band shirt.
I sure am.
Yes.
Showing my stomach too, sorry.
Yes.
I sure am.
Okay, so if you could pick one of those bands to headline with Small Talk, which one?
Oh, my chem for sure. I don't even know if I'd be able to. I don't even know if I'd be able to stand up straight and everything. I'd probably have to put a bag over my head and slip knot it. But I wouldn't even care if we were the band that was playing while everybody was buying their merch for my chem and getting nachos for the big show. I wouldn't even care. That would be a huge honor to me.
We need to get him a chair and like a bag so that way, like you do with Falcons to keep them calm.
Seriously, that's what I would do. And I cannot wait for shows and touring to come back. I am so ready.
Yeah, I agree. One last question. If you were to pick a color outside of the obvious black that would embody Small Talk, what color would that be?
I would say pastel blue or pastel pink because we're very soft and we love being open and vulnerable with people about everything that we're going through in the band and our personal lives. And I think that just represents us very well.
And don't forget the white to make the trans flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just very soft and vulnerability. Definitely.
I like that.
I love that.
That's so cute. Oh my god, look at you.
If you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of pink. Like pink lipstick and pink eyeshadow.
Straight up.
I love it. I love it. And by the way, that shirt is actually amazing.
Thank you so much. Definitely get a lot of weird stares, but all worth it because
Yeah.
he's big.
Oh yeah.
You know what? It's worth it. It is so worth it.
And I remember one time somebody was like, "Why would you have our president like that?" I'm like, "This is like a fat orange guy. The fact that you assumed that was Trump, that just means that you think of him that way." Like, wow.
What do you mean? This is an orange chimpanzee with a toupee on.
Yeah, you're so mean.
That is so great. I actually recently bought an ACAB shirt. And
Heck yeah.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So, it looks like we're running out of time. Caitlin, do you have any burning questions for our amazing Noah?
Yes, I do, because you forgot to ask it.
Did I?
If you could be any animal for 24 hours.
Oh,
That one! Yes!
I
You
asked
ask it!
Oh my god! I can't believe I forgot! I ask this every episode. Oh my god, I have to ask it again.
Okay, you can
Okay.
do it. I'll let you take the reins on it.
If you could be an animal, any animal in the whole world, extinct or not, for 24 hours without any repercussions on your human body, and after that 24 hours you become a human and life goes on as normal, what animal would you be?
I would definitely be a shark because I would travel to the bottom of the ocean and I would tell people what I saw.
Yes, thank you.
And I would try to discover as much as I could. But oh my god, that sounds so scary, like being that far underwater.
Yes!
I want to know. I'm burning questions about the bottom of the ocean.
That is such a great idea.
Man, that would be so
Can't
scary though.
believe
But
you forgot to ask that question. Like that's his favorite question to ask people.
oh my god.
I know, I can't believe I was so shocked actually that we had Noah on because like honestly, I was so oh my god, I just made a bad reference. But honestly, I'm so happy that we were having Noah on because you're like an amazing person that I just I was completely forgetting all my questions today. So thanks, Caitlin, for asking.
You're welcome.
A very nice conversation. We just kind of took the reins everywhere, and that's important, you know.
We went all over the place with it.
A lot of people, especially Joe Billy, I think, said that they would be a bird, so that way he could shit on fashion and stuff.
That's amazing, and that's an incredible answer. That's
See, like you
Wow.
can't do that as a shark, but you could eat them.
Yeah.
Let me go to Florida real quick.
There's some politicians down there that might be visiting the beach soon.
Yeah.
Especially with that bill, you could just eat all the transphobes.
There you
I'm
go.
on my way.
I would love to just picture like a shark that could live on land and just
That'd be
eat
so
all the
scary.
transphobes.
That'd be cool.
Nom, nom.
I saw an artist that made drawings of sharks and they made them look like puppies, but like they still had like a shark face and a shark tail, but they had like puppy legs and they were small and they were so cute.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, I want a shark puppy.
That sounds so cute.
I can't remember the name of the artist. I wish I could because it was so cute. But if you look up like shark puppies or something like that, you'd probably find them.
Oh my god.
So cute.
I have to Google this. So it looks like we're just a little out of time, but I am Blake.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Noah.
And
this was
OnlyBands.
OnlyBands.